Hi, Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope. So I'm going to play this interview. This happened a couple of days ago. A Sydney businesswoman. She's a CEO. She's defending the former Iranian leader, Khamenei. The logic that this woman uses, I find it hard to wrap my head around. It reminds me exactly of what the Bible says, Romans 1. I've said this a multitude of times. Let me remind you. It says here, I'll just read from verse, so it's Romans 1, verse 21. It says, because although they knew God, they did not glorify him as God, nor were thankful, but became futile in their thoughts, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Professing to be wise, they became fools. To me, this woman is a fool. This woman is a fool. She has got a reprobate mind. She cannot think clearly. She cannot think clearly, properly. She has got a mind that no longer functions properly. And the logic that she is trying to use here just does not make sense. Anyway, have a listen to it. Let me know what you think.
Yeah, well, I think it's a bit arrogant of the Premier to say to a religious organisation, you can't mourn your spiritual leader, right? Because that's essentially what they're doing. Whether you agree with what they stood for or not, is he going to do it to the Catholic Church, to Buddhists, to synagogues and to other things if their leaders are doing something he doesn't agree with?
Is there a difference, though, when he's accused of murdering 30,000 people and executing young boys who may be gay?
Well, hang on a minute. But they called him a tyrant, right? But a tyrant is someone who bombs a school and kills 160 children, which is what happened in Iran recently when America and Israel bombed Iran, right? So that's tyrant behaviour. Or when the IDF flattened Gaza and 60,000 people were killed, that's a tyrant activity. So if you're going to condemn one group for killing, condemn everyone for all killing around the world, right? Don't just pick one religion or one group and say, I condemn what you've done and you can't mourn, the death of your spiritual leader when other countries and religions have killed also.
Okay, so is it, do you talk about, he did this, she did this, he did this, or do we concentrate on this person this week? Don't
be a hypocrite is what I'm saying with Minns. Okay, so condemn everything if you're going to do it.
Do you call the Ayatollah a tyrant?
I think most world leaders are tyrants in one way or another.
Okay, let's concentrate on him because it's leading the news around the world.
Just a sec, Justin. The Ayatollah was one of the worst people in the world. I'm sorry, Nat.
I'll get to you in just a sec, but do you call the Ayatollah a tyrant?
I don't particularly like the way he did business and how he ran the country. You've got to look at the history of who put him in there and what happened. But the reality is I don't have to agree with him and their religion, right? But I also don't agree with a politician telling someone who they can and can't mourn when it was their spiritual leader.
It's a pretty easy question.
Well, I think he's a tyrant in his behaviour, yes, okay. But, with oppression. But you've got to understand that when it comes to global leaders, at the very top, they all essentially are tyrants. I've called Trump one, and I said he's got a God complex because he just decides I'm going to bomb a country because I think I've got the moral superiority to do so.
So you think they're the same?
Yes.
Got my eyes straight ahead, got my head in the game with the red light on. I'm just waiting for the change. Keep my head down low.